Imagine fear not merely as an emotion, but as a tangible, biological entity. A pathogen, airborne and insidious, capable of infecting the very core of our being. Today, we delve into a chilling hypothetical: what if fear itself became a virus? This isn't science fiction for entertainment alone. We will explore this scenario through the lenses of neuroscience, epidemiology, and collective human behavior. Our aim is to understand the profound implications of such a biological contagion. Consider a virus, let's call it phobovirus, transmitted through respiratory droplets. Upon inhalation, its unique proteins would target specific receptors in the nervous system. This direct biological assault would bypass psychological triggers, initiating fear at a cellular level. Phobovirus would hijack the body's stress response system. It would force the adrenal glands into overdrive, flooding the bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline. This constant chemical bath would induce a perpetual state of fight or flight, regardless of external threats. At the neurological level, phobovirus would directly stimulate the amygdala, the brain's fear center. This constant activation would override rational thought processes in the prefrontal cortex. Infected individuals would experience heightened anxiety, paranoia, and an inability to process information calmly. Decision-making would become severely impaired. The brain, trapped in a primal survival mode, would prioritize immediate, often irrational, responses. This neurological manipulation would make logical reasoning and long-term planning nearly impossible for the infected. The epidemiological curve of phobovirus would be terrifyingly steep. As individuals succumb to biological fear, their irrational behaviors would become contagious in a secondary, social sense. Panic would ripple through communities, amplified by the biological imperative. Trust would erode rapidly. Infected individuals, driven by primal fear, might perceive others as threats, leading to widespread aggression or extreme isolation. Social cohesion would fracture, making coordinated public health responses incredibly challenging. Diagnosing phobovirus would be complex, as its symptoms mimic severe anxiety disorders. However, the rapid onset and widespread nature would quickly signal a novel pathogen. Containment would demand unprecedented global cooperation and swift action. Traditional public health measures, like quarantines, would face immense resistance. The infected, driven by their biological fear, would be less compliant and more prone to panic-driven flight. This would accelerate the virus's global reach. The medical community would face an unparalleled crisis. Research would focus on antiviral therapies that could block the virus's neurological targets. Developing a vaccine would be paramount, aiming to prevent the biological hijacking of the fear response. Treatments might involve neuromodulators to calm the overactive amygdala, alongside psychological support. However, the sheer scale of the pandemic would overwhelm healthcare systems. Ethical dilemmas regarding forced treatment or isolation would become unavoidable. This hypothetical scenario, while extreme, illuminates the profound power of fear. It underscores how deeply our emotions are intertwined with our biology. It also highlights the fragility of societal order when collective rationality is compromised. Understanding the mechanisms of fear, both psychological and biological, becomes crucial. This thought experiment serves as a stark reminder of our interconnectedness and the importance of resilience, even in the face of the most insidious contagions.